Hi, this is my second video for personal finance, and for this video we are to describe the process of creating and using a budget and describing why a budget might be important. So there's a couple steps to begin designing a personal budget. The first step could be defining how much money you have and comparing this to what you need in the future to live, and in comparing this also to what you might want in the future. So for example, making sure that you have enough money saved for rent would be an example of kind of defining and planning out what you might need your money for in the future. So an important aspect of this step would be to make sure that you are not overestimating the amount of money that you have to spend. So making sure you're not spending too much money or shopping too much if you don't have that much money to spend. So the second step is to record and keep track of every single interaction or purchase that you make, whether it be per week or month, but just to keep track of it. It's important to be honest and have integrity to yourself when you're doing your personal budget, and never underestimate how much you are spending again, because it could cause you money in the future and problems and financial problems down the road. So another aspect of this step would be to identify your fixed expenses. So this would be your rent payments or mortgage payments, car payments bi-weekly or monthly depending on what you have, and the expenses that are unlikely to change the amount that you're going to have to pay in the future. And you're not going to see a cutback in these expenses anytime soon because they're fixed. The second type of expense that we need to look out for in this step is variable expenses, and these include gas from month to month, entertainment, groceries, and stuff like that. So the third step would be to set your goals. So this would include setting your short-term or long-term goals. Long-term example would be an RSP or a savings plan for education for your children. A short-term goal would be to save up for a car within the next 6 months. So in this step, you also identify your priorities when it comes to saving your money and what you want to spend your money on or what you're saving your money for. This will help to guide and aim your goals and money in the same direction to kind of be successful in planning. And it also gives dollars a purpose in your budget and planning. The fourth step will be to make a plan. So making a budget and set amount of money for fixed expenses and variable expenses. So putting aside a certain amount of money for your fixed expenses per month and planning ahead for a year or 2 years and making sure you have enough. And the same thing for variable expenses, so only giving yourself a certain amount of variable expense money to spend so that you don't go over budget. So the limited amount of money for entertainment and gas and groceries will differ between the needed variable expenses from month to month. So you might need more gas money or less gas money, or more groceries and less groceries depending on the month. In the fifth step, you should adjust your habits where you can. So this involves starting to recognize where your money is going and where it is coming from, and to change it and your habits as much as you can in order to organize your spending a little bit more. So change in favor of saving and being able to support yourself rather than just splurging on leisure activities. If you could master control over your spending habits, it becomes easier and you can become more consistent in your budgeting processes. Lastly, the sixth step would be to keep up to date and active track of your budgeting. Just because you have a good month or you are really happy with how much money you've saved doesn't mean you have to stop there. So keep working hard and adjusting where need be. So budgeting is very important as it can teach you limitations on your money and how to control your urges to splurge. And as a young adult that may have a job soon where I have a lot more money than I'm used to, it's important for me to take into consideration where I should put that money and how I should save it and what I should be saving for. Thank you.